Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. So we'll start our Bhagavad Gita overview. We'll start with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. So yesterday we completed 9th chapter of this Bhagavad Gita, which is the most confidential knowledge. And in that we saw, after describing the Aishwarya Gyan of himself, where Krishna stated that how he is a creator, maintainer and destroyer of everything. Then he described about those people who reject his form. These are Mayavadis. And then he described those people who are worshippers of impersonal Brahman, worshippers of Vishwarupa, and worshippers of the Devtas. Then after describing this, he says that worship of the Devtas is not so easy and it is done avidhi purvakam. And then in contrast to that, Krishna described the sweet nature of devotional service, and he has described in detail the glorious position of bhakti, where he has described how he protects his devotees, how he takes care of his devotees, how even if somebody falls from the path of bhakti, very soon he is back to his original position. Anybody can practice bhakti. And then at last Krishna said that you can practice bhakti by remembering me, by offering obeisances to me, worshipping me. In this way you'll come to me without fail. And then in the 10th chapter we saw, after Krishna described this, Arjuna, he wanted to hear more about the opulences, but Krishna, he has not asked anything from Krishna. Krishna on his own, he starts describing how he is pervading this entire universe. And that is the 10th chapter, where he is describing the opulences of the Absolute. And yesterday we had completed till 10.7, and we had begun with this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. So we had seen how this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita summarizes the entire Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has described his opulences. He has described how to become a pure devotee, how to worship him, and how Krishna reciprocates with these devotees. Then we have also seen that how this 4 verses of Chatushloki, they can be seen in terms of Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana also. So now we'll start with this 8th verse. Very important verse, very famous verse, where Krishna is describing that he is the source of everything in this world. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitah. Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Prabhavo means created. So Krishna is saying, I create everything. Matta sarvam pravartate, and everything emanates from me. That means pravartate means Krishna maintains. Prabhavo means Krishna creates, and pravartate means Krishna maintains. Iti matva bhajante mam. And after knowing this, what he has to do? The devotee has to practice bhakti. Iti matva bhajante mam. So that is the goal of knowing Krishna, to engage in the practice of devotional service. Buddha bhava samanvita. They worship me with all their hearts. So therefore, we'll see this in terms of sambandha, abhidheya and prayojan. So sambandha means knowing about Krishna. So in the first line of this verse, Krishna has talked about sambandha gyan. Who is Krishna? Krishna is the source of everything. First and second line, Krishna is describing who is he. He is the creator and he is the maintainer of everything. Prabhavo and pravartate. Then third line describes the abhidheya process. What one has to do after knowing Krishna. Iti matva bhajante mam. So bhajante is the abhidheya process. What he has to do to develop a relationship with Krishna. And then after this, the last line describes the prayojan, the result of knowing Krishna and practicing bhakti. One becomes bhava samanvita. One becomes enlightened and worships him with great attention. So Prabhupada in the purport, he focuses on Krishna being the supreme source of everything. And in the end of this purport, Prabhupada writes that only a fool would consider Krishna to be an ordinary human. So in order to understand Bhagavad Gita, we have to live Gita. We have to live whatever we have heard. And to live Gita, we have to love Krishna. Without loving Krishna, we cannot live Bhagavad Gita. One person came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I can recite whole Bhagavad Gita in 40 minutes. Prabhupada said, can you live Bhagavad Gita for 40 minutes? So living Bhagavad Gita is more important than just becoming a parrot like a scholar person of Bhagavad Gita. There are big scholars who have done PhD in Bhagavad Gita, but they don't know Krishna. So in this verse, Krishna is saying, after knowing me, what you have to do? You have to practice devotional service. So Bhagavad Gita, it is a self-evident book, but still it is called an open book. It is called an open secret. Bhagavad Gita has so many secrets and the book is there available for everyone. But still very few know him. Very few know Krishna to be the supreme absolute truth, the source of everything. There are some commentators who say that when Krishna is saying, I am maintaining this creation, that means there is the absolute truth is within Krishna who is maintaining everything. So therefore, Prabhupada was very much against these Mayavadi commentators. Then after describing this, in the 9th verse, Krishna describes the symptoms of a pure devotee of Krishna. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. Macchittaha madgata prana. The thoughts of my devotee dwell in me. So with their mind and with their life air, with their all energy, bodhayantah parasparam, their lives are completely devoted to Krishna. Madgata prana, their lives are completely given for Krishna. Bodhayantah parasparam, this is the crux of Krishna consciousness. Krishna is saying, when my devotees, they come together, what do? They discuss about my pastimes. They discuss about Krishna. That is called association of devotees. That is called parasparanu kathanam pavanam bhagavati yashaha. When devotees, they come together, they speak about Krishna, which are all purifying. So therefore, when devotees, they come together, association of devotee means there should be Krishna katha. It is not that, two devotees are coming and they are slandering this third devotee royally. And it is not a devotion. It is not association. Association means you are glorifying Krishna. And then kathayantascha mam nityam. Bodhayantah means enlighten one another. Kathayantah means they talk about me, conversing about me. And in this way, what happens to them? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They derive great satisfaction and they derive great bliss. So in this way, Krishna is saying, Macchittaha, the thoughts of my devotee, they dwell in me. So that means Krishna becomes the shelter of our thoughts. So just like a traveler, when he goes out, he is always eager to come back to his shelter, come back to his home, where he'll get a chance to take shelter. That is the place where the devotee or any person wants to go. That is a default setting of a person. He wants to go to his home. That is a shelter of a person. Krishna is saying, my devotees, they may be doing so many things, going to office, maintaining family, going to the jobs, hospitals, doing their work. As soon as it is all done, he wants to come back to me. He is just eager to come back to Krishna. And that is what Krishna is saying, Macchittaha. So we have to change. Many times our shelter is something different. For many people, the shelter is, for outside people, shelter is, all the sports, movies, Bollywood talks, political talks. That is their shelter. Krishna is saying, devotee, for a devotee, the shelter is Krishna. So Krishna is the shelter of a devotee. Whenever there is anything which is problematic in the life of a devotee, the devotee immediately comes back to Krishna. As Bhagavatam also describes, Dhautatma Purusha Krishna Padam na munchati mukta sarva pariklesha pantha swasharanam yatha. Dhautatma Purusha, the person who is purified of all contaminations. Krishna Pada Moolam na munchati. He does not give up Krishna. And what is the symptom of a person becoming purified? Krishna Pada Moolam na munchati. Therefore, Krishna is saying, my devotee, he engages his three faculties in me. First, he engages his mind. Macchittaha. Chitta means mind. Madgata prana, he engages his body. Bodhayantah parasparam, he engages his power of words and speech. So therefore, devotees should always be eager to hear about Krishna. That is what devotees should be eager, always. Satamayam sara bhritam nisargo yadarthavani shruti chetasamapi pratikshanam navyavadachyatasyat striya vitanam eva sadhu varta. Bhagavatam describes devotees who are the seekers of essence. Sar bhritam. There are so many problematic things which are happening around a devotee, but devotee is like a honeybee. In the midst of a place full of garbage, honeybee will go and search for a flower and bring the nectar from that flower. Devotee, he may be in the world which is full of all the nonsense talks. He will find out another devotee and he will discuss Krishna Katha. Devotee is attached to Krishna in such a way, in the same way as a non-devotee is attached to the topics of a woman. For them, these topics are always new. They can keep on talking about that, affairs with women, and all the Hollywood, Bollywood talks are filled with these things only. So Krishna is saying, my devotees, they take pleasure only in my thoughts. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha, So in this 9th verse, this macchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam. This is the abhidheya process. So this is the abhidheya which a devotee practices. Bodhayantah parasparam, discussing Krishna Katha. And then what is the prayojan? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. He becomes peaceful, satisfied and happy. So therefore, the joy of Krishna Katha which a devotee gets is greater than any joy available on earth. Therefore, a devotee is not interested in going anywhere. It is described in Bhagavatam. Nayatra Vaikuntha Katha Sudhapaga Nasadhavo Bhagavata Sadashraya Nayatra Yagyesh Makha Mahotsava Suresh Loko Pinavaisha Sevyatam. Nayatra Vaikuntha Katha Sudha. Wherever there is no Krishna Katha going on, Na sadhavo bhagavata sadashraya. Wherever there are no devotees of the Lord, Nayatra yagyesh makha mahotsava. Wherever there are no festivals going on for the pleasure of the Lord, devotee is not interested to go to that place, even if it is heaven. So therefore, devotee is only interested in Krishna Katha. And therefore, going to job, going to office, whole day we may be away from thoughts of Krishna. Krishna will be in the background, as we discussed day before yesterday. Krishna will be in the background. Mam anusmara yudhyacha. So morning, when we go for our job, our work, so just a minute. Yeah. So whole day when we are away from Krishna, but from in the morning, because we chanted proper rounds, in the evening we will be eager to go back to our shelter, go back to the place where we can remember Krishna to the fullest capacity. That is what a devotee is interested in. And Prabhupada in the purport describes about Bhakti Lata Bij, that how these processes, they water the Bhakti Lata Bij. And then after describing this, Krishna describes what is the method of realizing Krishna. Who gives the process, who gives the method of realizing Krishna. And therefore, in the next two verses, Krishna will describe how Krishna reciprocates with the devotees. Krishna gives them the intelligence. Krishna gives his devotees intelligence by which they can realize him, by which they can come closer to him. So therefore, in 10th and 11th verses, Krishna describes how Krishna gives intelligence and how Krishna destroys the ignorance. So ultimately, it is Krishna who is doing everything for a devotee. In fact, Krishna is working much more than devotees. Krishna is eager to bring the devotees back to his abode, and he is working very gravely. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, at one place, Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami, they are discussing. Haridas Thakur is telling Sanatana Goswami, Maharaura haite toma korila uddhar gambhir. So he's saying, Krishna is gambhir apar. Oh, Haridas Thakur is telling Sanatana Goswami, oh Sanatana Goswami, Krishna has delivered you from hellish condition. Krishna is gambhir apar. Krishna is very, very eager and grave to save his devotees. So therefore, whatever Krishna is doing for one reason, to bring his devotees closer to him. And therefore, in 10th verse, Krishna is saying that I give intelligence to my devotees. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Tesham satata yuktanam, to those who are constantly devoted to me. Satata, not for some time, those who are constantly remembering him, constantly serving him, maybe directly, maybe indirectly, but satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam, they are serving me with love, with preeti, with love. This preeti is very important. In the six limbs of dealings between devotees, Rupa Goswami also uses this word preeti. Dadati pratigrahnati guhyamakhyanti prichati bhunkte bhojayate chaiva shadvidha preeti lakshanam. So this preeti is very, very important. To love Krishna is very, very important. We may be offering so many things to Krishna, but if there is no love, if there is no devotion, Krishna does not like that. Krishna does not accept that. And then Krishna says, whoever does this, I give them the intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam. I give them the understanding by which yena mam upayanti te, by which they can come to me. So this buddhi yoga can be understood in two ways. Buddhi, that helps us to connect to Krishna. So that means buddhi that helps us to do that yoga. Second, that yoga that gives us buddhi. So both are correct. Both understandings are correct. So yoga, that is the devotional service. When we practice devotional service, Krishna gives us the intelligence by which we can come to him. Therefore, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Buddhi yoga is the process by which one can get out of the entanglement of this material world. And then in the next verse, 11th verse, Krishna describes how Krishna gives buddhi. Tesham eva anukampartham, tesham eva anukampa. Anukampa means special mercy. To show them special mercy, aham ajnana jam tamaha, I. Krishna is very, very personal in all these verses. He's saying, I dwelling in the heart of each and every person. Nashayami atma bhavastho. Nashayami, I destroy the ignorance. Ajnana jam tamaha. I destroy the ignorance which is there in the heart of each and every devotee. Jnana deepena bhaswata, with the shining lamp of knowledge. When devotee, he knows about me, he starts serving me, and the more he serves me, he develops a relationship with me, and the more he develops relationship with me, the more the ignorance in the heart gets destroyed. Tomar sevaya dukkha hoye jata, seyo to parama sukha. Seva sukha dukkha parama sampada nashaye avidya dukkha. So tomara seva, same thing Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. When we serve Krishna, there is some problem, some distress is there in serving Krishna. But when we serve Krishna, the ignorance which is there in the heart gets destroyed. That's what Krishna is saying. I destroy the ignorance which is there in the heart of my devotee. Now, this verse, so this 10.11 marks the end of instructions which are given by Krishna to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has understood Bhagavad Gita from Krishna. Arjuna has understood Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, and the proof of that is now Arjuna will speak his opinion. He will speak his understanding about the message of Bhagavad Gita. And from this verse onwards, whatever Arjuna will ask, it is not for him. It is for people in general. Lok sangraham evapi. It is only for the welfare of people in general. So therefore, Arjuna in this verse, 12th and 13th verses, he accepts Krishna to be the Supreme Lord. Param Brahma Param Dhama. O Krishna, your Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. You are the purest. You are the absolute truth. Purusham Shashvatam Devyam. You are the original person, the Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum, unborn and greatest. So therefore, and then Arjuna says, don't think because I am your friend, that's why I am glorifying you, because friends, sometimes they glorify each other, एक दूसरे को चढ़ाते रहते हैं, तू इतना बड़ा आदमी है, ये है, वो है. Arjuna is saying, no, I am not boasting about you. Not only me, great sages are also glorifying you. Ahustvam rishayas sarve devarshi naradasthatha asito devalo vyasa swayam chaiva pravishime. All the great sages, Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, they are accepting the same thing. And now you yourself are telling me the same thing. So therefore, we have to understand that Arjuna at this point has accepted Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And from this verse onwards, whatever Arjuna will ask, it is not for him. He has understood everything. And it will come, the verse will come where Arjuna says, Mohoyam vigato mama, all my illusion is dispelled. The same verse Arjuna again says in the 18th chapter, Nashto moho smritir labdhva. So 2 times Arjuna tells Krishna, oh Krishna, now my illusion is dispelled. So this is the essential conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, which Krishna is making in the 10.12 and 13. And now Arjuna will make it more strong in the next verse. He says, Sarvam etadritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danavah. So Arjuna is accepting Krishna to be the supreme, and he says, Sarvam etadritam. Oh Krishna, whatever you say, I accept everything in totality. And Prabhupada was very much against some of the big personalities. And he would say that these people, they accept some part of Bhagavad Gita and they reject other part of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita should be understood like the, you know, first student of Bhagavad Gita, that is Arjuna. What is Arjuna doing? He is accepting everything whatever Krishna is saying. Sarvam etad ritam manye. I totally accept as truth, O Arjuna. Yanmam vadasi Keshava. Whatever you have told me, I accept everything. And nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidur devan danava. Nobody knows you, neither the devatas nor the danavas. So how can we understand that, some section is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita? There are so many sections which are described in Bhagavad Gita, so many concepts which are coming in Bhagavad Gita. So how to understand that this section is the essence and conclusion of Bhagavad Gita? There are three ways to understand that this is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. First, we have to check Bhagavad Gita's message itself. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, the unequivocal declaration is given, and it has been more emphasized in 18.66, where Krishna is saying surrender to him, and whatever comes at the end, it is the conclusion of any compilation. So whatever is coming in the end of Bhagavad Gita, that is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Surrender to me. Second, so first is we have to check the Bhagavad Gita's message itself. Second is you have to check the understanding of the initial student of Bhagavad Gita, original student. That was Arjuna. And what is the understanding of Arjuna? That he has given in 10.12 and 13, where he is very, very emphatically declaring that I accept you to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then third is check the actions of the original student. First, you have to check the Bhagavad Gita's message, check the understanding of the original student, and third is you have to check the actions of the original student. After hearing whole Bhagavad Gita, what Arjuna is doing, Arjuna is not doing some impersonal meditation, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. He is practicing devotional service. He is practicing whatever Krishna is saying. That is what Arjuna tells in the end of 18th chapter. Oh Krishna, all my illusion is dispelled. Nashtamoho smritir labdva tvat prasadan mayachyuta sitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. I will do whatever you say, O Krishna. So that is how we have to understand Bhagavad Gita's conclusive message. In the 15th verse, Arjuna says, only you know about yourself. Nobody else in this whole world knows you. And in this 15th verse, Arjuna is using 5, epithets, 5 glorifications for Krishna. First, he is calling Krishna as Purushottama. Then he's saying Bhut Bhavan, Bhutesha, Dev Dev, Jagatpati. All these 5 things very, very emphatically describe Krishna to be the Supreme Lord. And then after that, now Arjuna is convinced, but he's thinking about common people. What common people will say, how they will accept Krishna to be supreme. So just for the people in general, just for the welfare of everyone, he is telling Krishna, oh Krishna, please tell me more of your opulences. Bhaktum arhasya seshena. Please tell me in detail. Please tell me about your divyahi atma vibhutayaha. Please tell me about your divine opulences, by which you pervade all these worlds. And then he says, oh Krishna, I am not satisfied hearing about you. That is the great nature of Krishna Katha. In every festival, Ram Navami, Narsimha Chaturdashi, Janmashtami, Radhashtami, Gaur Purnima, Nityanand Trayodasi, you name it. We have heard all the pastimes of Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, n number of times. But still, when we hear Krishna Katha, it is always new. Nitya, Nava, Navayaman. It is always new. Nobody is satisfied by hearing Krishna Katha. And only Krishna Katha satisfies us. That is the very, very inconceivable nature of Krishna Katha. So Arjuna in 18th verse is saying, I am not satisfied hearing about you, O Krishna. Please tell me more of your glories. And Bhagavatam describes in this again and again. So many personalities, they keep on telling, please tell us more about Krishna. Vayam tuna vitripyama uttama shloka vikrame yashranvatam rasagyanam swadu swadu pade pade. Sages of Naimisharanya, they are telling to Suta Goswami, oh Suta Goswami, please tell us more about Krishna, because we are not satisfied hearing about Krishna. So that is the glorious nature of Krishna Katha. Nobody can become satisfied by hearing Krishna Katha, and one can become satisfied only by hearing Krishna Katha. That is the glorious nature of Krishna Katha. So after hearing this, Krishna starts speaking. And there he says, "Oh Arjuna, my opulences are unlimited. Hantate kathayishyami." Hant means a very, very loving, address. Very gentle, sweet way of addressing Arjuna. Hanta, oh my dear Arjuna, yes, I will tell you. Kathayishyami divyahi atma vibhutayaha. I'll tell you about my splendorous manifestations. But I will tell you only prominent ones. You are telling me to explain in detail, but I cannot tell you in detail. Because nasti anto, there is no end to my opulences. They are limitless. So therefore, I'll tell you some glimpse of what are my opulences. So, when somebody hears this, he thinks, just see what type of egomaniac person Krishna is. He is glorifying himself so much. But we have to see the context. If Krishna is proud, then we have to understand what he is doing in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He is a humble charioteer, chariot driver, who will become the servant of his own servant. And to become chariot driver is not so easy. In the battlefield, Krishna was tolerating the kicks of Arjuna, because to give directions, Arjuna had to kick Krishna on the right side or on the left side or in the middle. For 18 days, Krishna was tolerating the kicks of his own devotee. Who can say Krishna to be a egoistic and proud person? None of us can do this, even in our dreams. So therefore, we have to understand that Krishna is a very, very humble, gentle person, most gentle of all the gentle personalities we have seen. He is the best of everything. All the good qualities are there in Krishna. So out of his mercy, Krishna wants everybody's attention to go to him. Therefore, he is explaining his qualities little bit. And we should not think this to be a proud behavior of Krishna. So therefore, Krishna starts describing. He says, Aham Atma Gudakesha, I am the super soul seated in everyone's heart. Aham Adishcha Madhyamcha, I am the beginning, middle, Bhutanam Anta Evacha, and I am the end of all the manifestations. So Krishna he has said in the previous verse, Divyahi Atma Vibhutayaha. So we have to understand what is this Vibhuti. Vibhuti means whatever special thing you see in any person in this world or anything in this world. When we see something attractive in this material creation, whatever attracts us, we have to understand and see it as a manifestation of Krishna. So that is what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. People get attracted to so many things in this world. You should understand, oh Arjuna, that all these come from me. And then from 21st verse to 39th verses, I'm not going to go into the detail. This is just a whole, view in one side, all the opulences which Krishna is talking about in this chapter. So you can read at your time. Whenever you get time, you can read from 21st to 39th verses. Krishna is describing in so many ways how he is pervading this entire universe and how he is exhibiting his qualities through various people and various things in this world. So then, after describing all this, in the 40th verse, Krishna says, Nanto asti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa Esha tuddeshta prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. So there Krishna is saying, O Parantapa, O chastiser, O mighty conqueror of our enemies, na anto asti, there is no end to my divine manifestations. Vibhuti nam Parantapa, Esha tuddeshatah prokto. And whatever I have spoken to you, O Arjuna, it is just a mere indication. It is just an indication of my divine infinite opulences. So therefore, anything which attracts us in this world is a manifestation of Krishna's opulence. Now, after describing so many of the vibhutis individually, he summarizes that in the next two verses. He says, all this is just the spark of my splendor. Whatever I have told you, this is just the spark of my splendor. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam shrimad urjitam evava tattadeva gachatvam mama tejo amsha sambhavam. O Arjuna, know that yadyad vibhuti mat sattvam, all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations which you see in this whole world, they are just coming from the spark of my splendor. Mam tej amsha sambhavam. Sambhavam means it is coming from the spark of my splendor. So therefore, we have to understand there are so many things which attract our consciousness, attract our mind. Great politicians, cricket stars, Bollywood stars, and we are already conscious of so many things. Krishna is saying, we have to, bring your consciousness from these glorious things and bring it to connection and connect it to Krishna. Oh, this person is manifesting this opulence of Krishna. So therefore, everybody in this world, they have some capacity to attract our attention. And we should understand that this is a manifestation of Krishna's opulence. And if you read the list of things which Krishna is telling, many of us, we may not have heard also. So if you tell outside person Krishna is this, you may not relate to. But we can give a contemporary example. Just like if somebody who is a cricket fan, he can tell, Krishna is Sachin Tendulkar of cricket. So that is how, and whatever, Virat Kohli, that is the way to relate to Krishna in the current context. So therefore, Krishna is saying, whatever you see in this world, connect to me, because everything is just coming from the spark of my splendor only. Then in 42nd verse, Krishna says, Athva bahunaitena kim gyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyam idam kritsnam ekam shena sito jagat. Then Krishna is saying, but what need is there, O Arjuna, for all these detailed knowledge? Kim gyatena tavarjuna. What is the use of all these detailed knowledge? I pervade vishtabhyam idam kritsnam. I pervade and support entire universe. Ekam shena, just by the spark within a single fragment of myself, I support everything. So therefore, in this chapter, Krishna has described how we can see him in this material world, and by that we can always think about him. Because 9th chapter, Krishna has ended that with Manmanabhav Madbhakto Madhyajimam Namaskuru. How to think about him? Krishna has described in the 10th chapter. Apart from thinking directly about Krishna, which we have to do every day regularly by our chanting, by reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, hearing lectures. Apart from that, when we go in the outside world, and we will be bound to get attracted by things and people of this world. Krishna is saying, whatever attractive thing you see in this world, always remember me. This is my opulence which is manifested in this person. If we see somebody wealthy, oh, Krishna is the wealthiest of all wealthy people. Krishna is Lakshmipati. If you see somebody beautiful, oh, Krishna is abode of all the beauty. Yasyananam makara kundala charu karna bhrajat kapola subhaga savilasa hasam Nityotsavam na tat tripur drishbhi pibantyo naryo narasya mudita kupita nimescha. So beauty of Krishna is like a festival for the eyes. It is a constant festival. People like to attend festivals. So Bhagavatam describes the beauty of Krishna is Nitya Utsava. Yasya Ananam, the lotus face of the Lord. It is so beautiful. It is covered with curly locks of hair and it is decorated with shark-shaped earrings. Makara Kundal, Charu Karna. Ears are very beautiful. And on the forehead there are beautiful curls of black hair. Nityotsavam. It is an eternal festival for the eyes. Nobody can become satisfied seeing Krishna's beauty. So whatever you see beautiful in this world, think about Krishna. If you see somebody powerful, strong, think about Krishna. Krishna is the strongest of the strong. Balam balvatam chaham, as Krishna has said in the 7th chapter. So that is what Krishna has described in the 10th chapter. And then now we'll begin the 11th chapter. So in the 10th chapter, Krishna has told, with a single fragment of myself, O Arjuna, I support and pervade this entire universe. Now, Arjuna wants to see that form in which Krishna pervades this entire universe. So this is the connection between the 10th and 11th chapter. In the 10th chapter, Krishna has just told about his all-pervasive nature. Arjuna says, no, I am not just satisfied by hearing. I am not interested just in audio. In audio, visual also I want. खाली audio सुनने में मजा नहीं आ रहा है. Video भी चलाओ. Video चलाएंगे तो मजा आएगा. So Arjuna is requesting Krishna, please show me that form in which you are all pervading in this entire creation. And with that, he continues, and in this first verse, he says, Madanugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma sangitam yatvayuktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama. So here Arjuna is telling to Krishna, oh Krishna, my illusion is dispelled. Mohoyam vigato mama. You have shown so much mercy to me, O Krishna. You have explained me most confidential subject matter. Guhyam adhyatma sangitam. And by hearing these instructions, mohoyam vigato mama. All my illusion is dispelled. And Arjuna will tell the same thing again in the 18th chapter also. Nashtamoho smritir labdhva. So therefore, everything, whatever Arjuna is speaking now, it is only for the welfare of people. Because Arjuna knows somebody will in the future will come and claim that I am God. If somebody claims as God, himself as God, then you will have to he will have to show this universal form also. So with that in mind, Arjuna is asking Krishna, please show me that form. So second verse, Arjuna says, I have heard from you. I have heard everything in detail. Now, third verse, Arjuna tells, I have heard enough. I want to see your universal form. Evam etad yatha tattvam atmanam parameshwara drashtum ichhami te rupam aishwaram purushottama. So Arjuna is requesting Krishna, oh Krishna, I have heard your glories. Now drashtum ichhami, I want to see that form. I want to see the Aishwarya Rupa of you, O my Lord. Aishwaram Purushottama. So now, Krishna is standing in front of Arjuna. So that form is the form of Madhurya. And Krishna has a very sweet, loving relationship with Arjuna. As a friend, Arjuna is telling Krishna, I am seeing you as a friend in a Madhurya Rupa. I want to see your Aishwarya Rupa, a great manifestation in which you are pervading this entire universe. And then, fourth verse, he very humbly offers his request. A devotee never demands from Krishna, oh Krishna, please give me love of God now. A devotee never demands it. Devotee always requests Krishna, oh Krishna, please, if you think I am qualified, please give me love of God. Please give me taste for hearing. please give me taste for chanting, please give me a association of devotees. So devotees, they never demand from Krishna, they just humbly request Krishna. So that is what Arjuna is telling to Krishna. Manyase yadi tatshakyam. Oh Krishna, if you think that I am qualified to see that form, Maya drashtomiti prabho. If you think, oh Krishna, that I am able to see that form, then please show me that form. Darshayatmanam abhyayam. So the difference between humility and pride is humility begs. Humble person, he begs and waits for the mercy to come. He offers his request and then he waits for the mercy to come. But a person who is proud, he demands and he complains. He demands mercy now. I am qualified to get your mercy, oh my Lord, please give me. Devotee will never do it. So in the initial days of Krishna consciousness, devotees were so excited and exhilarated that they thought that they will become pure devotee in few months and the whole world will become devotees, full of devotees. So that was their excitement in the initial days of Krishna consciousness when Prabhupada went to America. So one devotee, Hayagriva Prabhu, he went to Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, I am chanting 16 rounds since last 6 months, but still Krishna has not given his darshan. No, that's what the devotees were thinking. यार 6 महीने से जप कर रहा है, अभी तक भगवान ने दर्शन नहीं दिए, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? Then Prabhupada showed Hayagriva Prabhu this verse, 4th verse. Manyase, devotee never demands. If you think Krishna, I am qualified, then please show your form. So we should have desire to have darshan of Krishna, but our attitude should not demand from that. We should not demand Krishna, please show me your form now. Then after this, in the next verse, Arjuna is again telling. So after Arjuna puts his request, now Krishna starts speaking. And there Krishna is telling, oh Arjuna, I will show you my opulences. Pashyame partha rupani. O son of Pritha, please see my opulences. Shatasho atha sahasrashaha. Hundreds and thousands of varied, divine and multicolored forms. So we have to understand why Krishna is telling Arjuna what he is going to show to Arjuna. Because if we have no idea, if we have no conception of what we are going to see, it will not make sense to us many times. So Arjuna has not seen this form previously. So therefore, in the next 3 or 4 verses, Krishna is giving a orientation course to Arjuna, that what he will see in this form, because Arjuna has no conception of what he is going to see. So before showing him the form, Krishna is telling Arjuna what all you will see. Because whatever we already know, when we see things, it helps us to know more. So our knowledge moves from familiar to unfamiliar. Just like in anatomy, people, they have we had our subject called histology. And histology, we have to see the tissue sections. And so the teacher, he has to tell all the students what you will be seeing in the slide under the microscope. And then the students would be able to see, okay, this is mitochondria, or this is whatever, all the organelles in the cell. So similarly, Krishna is telling Arjuna that, you will see these things in the form which I am going to show you. So then in the 6th verse, Krishna says, Pashyadityan vasun rudran, O Bharata, what you will see in this form, you will see various types of manifestations of Adityas, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, all the Devatas, Bahuni Adrishta Purvani. You will see many wonderful things which you have not seen earlier. Then he says in the 7th verse, O Arjuna, in this body, you will see whatever you wish to see. And with that, Krishna is hinting Arjuna, you will see the future outcome of this battle also in this form. He says, Mam dehe gudakesha yaccha anyat drashtum ichchasi. Anyat, whatever you want to see, you will see in this form. And then Krishna says, oh Arjuna, you cannot see this form with your present eyes. I'll give you divine eyes. Divyam dadami chette chakshu. I'll give you divine eyes by which you can see that form. So because acharyas, they say, why Krishna is saying that you will need a divine eye? Arjuna is already a pure devotee. So what is his eyes are not materialized. He has spiritual eyes. But our acharyas say that this universal form is not spiritual. So it is celestial form. There is a difference between celestial and spiritual. Celestial means the huge form which is there in this material world only. And spiritual means the divine, the transcendental form of Krishna. So this is some technical explanation which some may not be able to understand. So here Krishna is saying, with your current divine premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena, Arjuna had transcendental vision, spiritual vision, by which he could see only Krishna in Shyam Sundar form, sweet form. To see Krishna as a Virata Rupa, Arjuna has to step down his vision from transcendental to celestial. So that is what the acharyas, they give commentary. So now we'll continue. After this, Sanjay is speaking. In this 11th chapter, again, Sanjay is speaking. So there, Sanjay now tells what Krishna is showing to Arjuna. Evam uktva tato rajan mahayogeshwaro harihi darshayamasa parthaya paramam rupamaishwaram. Krishna showed his divine mystical form to Krishna, to Arjuna. And then 10th and 11th, Arjuna is seeing that form for the first time. That form has unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. So many things are getting displayed in front of Arjuna. Celestial ornaments are put on that body. Many divine weapons are there. And then in the 12th verse, Arjuna is seeing a effulgence which is coming from that universal form. Bhasas tasya mahatmanaha. And the verse says that, that effulgence, it is like hundreds and thousands of suns which, when they come together, that type of effulgence was coming from this universal form. And then in 13th verse, Arjuna is seeing entire universe at one place. Tatraikastham jagat kritsnam. Jagat kritsnam means entire universe Arjuna is able to see at one place. And then after showing this, after seeing all these forms, Arjuna's mood is changing. Now Arjuna is offering his obeisances and starts offering his prayers to this form. In the 14th verse, Arjuna bows down. Tatasya vishmaya vishto rishtaroma dhananjaya pranamya shirisha devam krita anjalirabhashata. Vismaya avishta. He is overwhelmed with bewilderment. Rishtaroma, all the hairs are standing on end. And therefore he offered his obeisances. And folded palms, he starts offering prayers to this form. So from 15 to 31st verses, so Arjuna's experience of seeing this universal form is described. So in these series of verses, Arjuna's response changes. First he describes the form, whatever he's seeing he describes. And then he starts offering prayers to that form, and then he offers obeisances to that form. So that is the sequence of verses which will be coming. So in this 15 to 18 verses, Arjuna is sharing his realizations, and then he describes the Kala Rupa form of this Vishwarupa. So we'll discuss what is this Kala Rupa. So now we'll continue ahead. Now, Arjuna is speaking. So Arjuna is describing what all he is seeing in this form. He says, Pashyami devam stava deva dehe sarvam tata bhuta vishesha sangan brahmanamisham kamalasanastam rishimsha sarvan urgams divyan. Pashyami, oh my Lord, I am seeing in this body. Tava deva dehe, I am seeing demigods. I am seeing all the living entities. I am seeing Brahma. I am seeing all the snakes, celestial snakes, which are there on the lower planetary systems. I am seeing Ananta also. So Arjuna is seeing this entire material creation right from the top, that is Brahma Loka. And you can see in the slide, this entire universe is being seen by Arjuna right from the top, that is Brahma Loka, down to the bottom, that is Ananta Shesha. Arjuna is seeing everything at one place. And then the 16th verse, Arjuna, he is acknowledging this form to be Vishwa Rupa. Pashyami Vishweshwara Vishwa Rupa. So this is the only reference of Vishwa Rupa in this entire Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna is calling this form as Vishwa Rupa. Then after this, Arjuna is not able to see that form, because just like everybody has experienced, when you get up in the morning and immediately suddenly somebody switches on all the lights, so the light is so much that you are not able to see anything, you become blinded. So that is what happening with Arjuna. There is so much of his effulgence and so much of light which is coming from this form that Arjuna is not able to see anything. Pashyami tvam durnirishyam. Durnirishyam means very, very difficult to see. Arjuna is saying, oh my Lord, this form, it is very difficult to see. So therefore, please, I am convinced about your supremacy. From now onwards, Arjuna starts glorifying the Lord, glorifying this form. And in the 18th verse, Arjuna is saying, oh my Lord, I am convinced of your supremacy. Tvam aksharam paramam veditavyam tamasya vishwasya param nidhanam tvam avyaya shashvata dharma gopta sanatanastvam purusho matome. Tvam aksharam, you are the supreme primal objective of this entire creation. Tvamasya vishwasya param nidhanam, you are the ultimate resting abode of all the universe. Tvam avyaya shashvata dharma gopta, you are inexhaustible. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion. Sanatanastvam purusho matome. Oh my Lord, you are the oldest, the supreme personality of Godhead. That is my opinion. So that is what Arjuna is telling, that now I accept you to be the supreme. And then he again glorifies that, oh my Lord, there is no beginning, no middle, no end of this form. I am seeing blazing fire coming from your mouth. So it is a very, very, ghastly and very, very bewildering scene which Arjuna is seeing. From the mouth of this Virat Rupa, fire is coming. As you can see in this slide, fire is coming from the mouth of this Virat Rupa, and that form is spreading throughout the universe. Everywhere it is being spread. Krishna is saying, Vyaptam tvayekena dishascha sarva. Oh my Lord, I am seeing you spread throughout, everywhere, all the directions you are there. And then Arjuna sees that all the devatas, all the sages, they are coming and they are offering their prayers to this form. Swastiti uktva. All the demigods, they are offering their prayers. And he says, everybody is astonished to see this form, oh my Lord. And because it is so very terrible form, everybody is agitated. Drishtva lokha prabhyathita tathaham. So therefore, now after describing this, there is again a transition in the mood of Arjuna. So after glorifying this form, now Arjuna becomes little, bewildered. And he says, oh my Lord, please withdraw this form. I cannot see this form anymore. This is bewildering me. I am becoming fearful. Then Krishna says, Arjuna says that, oh my lord, please remove this form from my vision again. Nabasprisham diptamaneka varnan vyattananam deepta vishala netram drishtva hi tvam pravyatitantaratma dhritim na vindami shamam cha Vishnu. Arjuna is telling to Krishna, oh Krishna, oh this universal form. When Krishna showed this universal form, you should understand, Krishna was not there in front of him. Krishna disappeared and this universal form has appeared. It is not like what we see in this any our paintings. Krishna is there and behind that this universal form is manifesting. No, it was not like that. Krishna disappeared from the vision of Arjuna and this universal form is there in front of Arjuna. And it is so very fearful to see that now Arjuna is requesting, oh please remove this vision and come back in front of me as a original two-handed form. Dhritim na vindami shamam cha Vishnu. I am not able to bear this fear. I am very, very disturbed. Please come back again to your Vishnu form. So then 25th verse, Arjuna is again telling, please be merciful. Prasid Devesh Jagan Nivasa. Please be merciful to me. So now understand that what Arjuna is going through, it is like, if somebody has gone to a theater to see a horror movie, and you see in the horror you are sitting in the theater and you are seeing a horror movie, various ghostly beings are getting displayed on that screen, and suddenly you see that those horrific figures, they are coming out of that screen and they start consuming people around you. It will be extremely horrific. Arjuna is experiencing the same terror, same thing. He was seeing that universal form spread throughout the universe, and now Arjuna will see that this Vishwarupa is devouring all the soldiers who are there on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So that is what Arjuna will see now. So basically, now what will happen is Krishna will show Arjuna the future outcome of this battlefield. Because in 11.7, Krishna has said, Drashtum ichhami te rupam, and he said, Yacha anyat drashtum ichhasi. Whatever you want to see, Arjuna, you can see in this form of mine. So therefore, Krishna in the next 5 verses will show Arjuna the future outcome of Kurukshetra war. Now, what is going to happen? So Krishna says, now Arjuna is again describing whatever is happening. He says, oh Krishna, what am I seeing now? I am seeing yatha nadinam bahavambu vega samudramayava bhimukha dravanti. So he's saying, oh Krishna, I am seeing just like rivers, they enter the ocean. There are warriors who are entering into your mouth. And just like the moths, they enter the fire, similarly, I see the warriors, they are entering the fire like fiery mouth of yours. So, our acharyas, they give very beautiful understanding. Why Arjuna is making these two analogies. River entering the ocean and moths entering the fire. So, Chakravarti Thakur, he says, rivers, they enter the ocean. So they involuntarily enter the ocean. It is natural for the rivers to go towards the ocean. Just like Kunti Maharani also says, Gange Vogham Udanvati, Toime Ananya Vishaya Matir Madhupate Sakrit Ratimudva Tamadha Gange Vogham Udanvati. So she says, oh my Lord, let my consciousness be drawn towards you, just like the river, they go, involuntarily, naturally towards ocean. So, Chakravarti Thakur says there are some warriors who are put in certain condition that they have to fight that battle and they will die. And who are they? They are Bhishma and Drona. They are put in a certain situation by the Lord's arrangement that they have to fight. But there are some warriors who are like moths. For moths, it is not natural. they voluntarily go into the fire and get burnt. And who are they? They are like the Kaurava warriors headed by Duryodhana and everyone else. So therefore, this is the inner meaning of an Arjuna's analogy: rivers entering the ocean and moths entering the fire. And then in 30th verse, Arjuna is telling, "Oh my Lord, I am seeing you devouring all these people." And it is very, very horrible and ghastly scene which Arjuna is seeing. He is seeing warriors, they are being eaten by this universal form, and their head is stuck between the teeth of this universal form. And as the head is crushed by this teeth, blood is coming out. And the tongue of this universal form is licking all the blood which is coming from the crushed heads of these warriors. So this is the ghastly scene which Arjuna is seeing, and that is completely bewildering Arjuna. So therefore, in 30th verse he says, "Oh my Lord, I am seeing you everywhere. You are devouring everyone. Your effulgence is spread everywhere." After this, Arjuna gets completely confused. If you remember, I'll go back in the slide. In this, yeah, sorry. Yes, in the 16th verse, you see Arjuna has accepted and he has understood that, okay, this is the Vishwa Rupa form of Lord. Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa. This is the Vishwarupa of Lord Vishnu. But just see now what will happen. In the 31st verse, what Arjuna is asking. Akhyahi meko bhavanugra rupo namostute deva vara prasida vigyatumichhami bhavantamadhyam nahi prajanami tava pravrittim. Now Arjuna is asking, who are you? Akhyahi meko bhavan. Who are you? Namostute, I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be merciful, but please tell me, who are you? Aap hain kaun? Vigyatum ichhami. I want to know why you have come here. What is your mission? He asks two things. Who are you? And what is your mission? Ko bhavan and tava pravrittim prajanami. Please tell me your mission. So, there is whole change in the attitude of Arjuna. Previously in 11.26, and 27, if you see the verse, there Arjuna is telling, Amicha tvam dhritarashtrasya. So tvam in Hindi means tum. मैं तुमको देख रहा हूं, तुम्हारे ये मुख में धृतराष्ट्र के पुत्र सब जा रहे हैं. Just see now, the address has changed from twam to bhavan. Now he is asking, aap kaun hai? Just see the change in the mood of Arjuna. From tum, now he is asking bhavan, aap kaun hai? Arjuna is completely bewildered, seeing this form. And why he is bewildered? Because Krishna has shown this Vishwarupa earlier also to Duryodhana. But Krishna has not shown this Kala Rupa. Kala Rupa means this form where Krishna is showing that all the warriors, they are coming and they are entering the mouth. That is the Kala Rupa. Kala Rupa means Krishna is showing what is going to happen in due course. That Krishna has not shown to anyone. Therefore, Krishna told in the beginning of this chapter, "Oh Arjuna, I am going to show you what nobody has seen till now." So that is how we'll discuss more about this Kala Rupa tomorrow. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. If anybody has any questions, they can put on the chat. And there are some questions which has already come. I'll see. Somebody asked, Sanjay ne bhi Virat Roop dekha kya? So yes, whatever is being shown to Arjuna by the mercy of Vyasdev, Sanjay could see everything. Therefore, in the last verse of Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 18th chapter, 76 verse, Arjuna is giving his conclusion. Sorry, Sanjay is giving his conclusion before Arjuna. So there, in 77th verse, Arjuna is saying, Tatcha samsmritya rupam atyadbhutam hareh vismayo me mahan rajam rishyami cha punah punah. I am becoming joyful as I remember that universal form of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. I become more and more joyful. So yes, Sanjay also saw this universal form. Does entire Kurukshetra people also saw Vishwarupa of Krishna? Mostly not, because just to see the form, Krishna gave the divine vision to Arjuna. So all the other, they were seeing Krishna and Arjuna standing and talking. But others were not seeing the universal form, because to see the universal form also requires a divine vision. So only Krishna could see that divine Virat Rupa, and by the mercy of Vyasdev, Sanjay also could see that. When Krishna went to Dhritarashtra Santidut at the time, that time Krishna showed Virat form. Is that the same as Virat Rupa? Yes, it was the same, but a miniature version of Virat Rupa. And that time Krishna didn't show this, Kala Rupa to Duryodhana and others. So that is what, and that time Krishna had a purpose. Krishna showed that form so that Duryodhana becomes fearful, and he will not dare to bind Krishna. So that form was just a sample of that Virat form which Krishna is showing now. So that is what is described. Was Sanjay on the battlefield when Krishna told Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna and even to Dhritarashtra on 10th day? Yes, that is the right understanding. So when when the battle was going on, so Arjuna was Sanjay was there till the 10th day of battle. And then on the 10th day, after Bhishma Dev, he fell down, then Sanjay, he went back to the palace of Dhritarashtra, and then he described whatever he has seen by his eyes, and also by the mercy of Vyasadev, he was given that divine vision by which he could see what all he did not see by his charma chakshu. So that was the mercy of Vyasadev. He could see all the Mahabharat, Kurukshetra going on in front of the eyes. That was the mercy of Vyasadev. Just like a Doordarshan, it was a television which was showing every part of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Was he given vision by Vyasadev only? Yes, Vyasadev gave that vision. And he personally also experienced some things, and Vyasadev gave him the vision by which he could see everything. By our vision, we can see some things, but we may not see whatever is happening kilometers away. So that is what Krishna, Vyasadev gave him that vision. So Krishna said Divya Chakshu is needed to see Virat Roop. How come others are able to see? Only Vyasadev, only Sanjay could see this Virat Rupa, as I explained. Not others. Others were just seeing Krishna and Arjuna talking. They are not seeing this Virat Rupa. So that is what is mentioned. Okay, anybody has any other questions? If all the soldiers already killed by Krishna, then were they not killed by free will of Pandavas? If this is so, then how to understand free will? So when Krishna is saying, I am showing you whatever is going to happen, that means Krishna is already telling Arjuna, oh Arjuna, I have already planned. This is the plan of Lord. Whenever Krishna comes, he comes for three reasons. Yada yada dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sajamyam paritranaya sadhunam. All these things Krishna come for. So Krishna has made a plan for all the people in this world. And in the next verse, which will come in 32nd verse, Krishna said, I have made a plan for everything. You have to just become an instrument in my plan. So if we become instrument in the plan of Krishna, it will be discussed more in tomorrow's class. We will get benefited if we align our free will with the will of the Lord. Then we will get benefited. And that is the extreme, sweet nature of Krishna. Krishna is called Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. He is the abode of all beauty. And the most beautiful aspect of this Sarva Saundarya Sangraham is Krishna likes to give credit to his devotees. So it is for our benefit. If we align our will with Krishna's will, then we will get benefited. Otherwise, if we are not there, somebody else will do the same thing. But if we follow the instructions of Krishna, then we will be benefited. And that is what Krishna wants Arjuna to do. He wants, that's what he says in the next verse. Nimitta matram bhava sabya shachin. He's saying, Arjuna, oh Arjuna, in this, in this 33rd verse, he says, Nimitta matra. Just become the instrument in my hand and yasho labhasva. Yasho labhasva means just win this glory. All glory is waiting for you. Just win this glory, So that is what is described. Therefore, Krishna has a plan for all these soldiers and he can do it on his own, but he wants to give credit to the Pandavas. So therefore, we have to understand Krishna has given free will to every one of us. And if we use it properly, we will be benefited. And if we misuse it, then we will not get the eternal chance to get connected to Krishna through the devotional service. Somebody asked, Ashwatha tree is banyan or people? There are various different acharyas, they give different understanding about Ashwatha. Some say it is banyan, some say it is people. So, sorry. Another question is, okay, Divya Chakshu is needed to see Virat Rupa. How come others are able to see? Because others were not seeing Virat Rupa. Only Arjuna saw and Sanjay could see this vision. Others were not seeing this Virat Rupa because Krishna did not give Divya Chakshu to everyone. He gave that only to Arjuna. Others were seeing just the original 200 form standing on the chariot of Arjuna. So Sanjay was describing the battle in the past tense after he went on 10th day. Yes. So therefore, the first chapter begins with what? Dhritarashtra verse. Dhritarashtra says, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakah pandavaschaiva kim akurvat Sanjaya. So if you understand, this kim akurvat means kya kiya. उन लोगों ने क्या किया, that means it is past tense. He's not asking ये क्या कर रहे हैं अभी. He's asking क्या किया इन लोगों ने. So therefore, Sanjay, he is describing whatever has happened in the past, but by the mercy of Vyasdev, he is seeing everything again in front of his eyes, and he is seeing everything now. So that is the difference. Okay, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. We'll stop here. Thank you very much.